I'm going to speak in English, if possible. Well, hello. I know some of you. I don't know most of you, but well, it's kind of an honor to be here, and I'll try to be succinct and clear for you. So I'm going to present Discerning Leadership, and I'm going to start why leadership formation is relevant today. You have a lot of ideas about that, but this is going to be useful also for the other presentations. One of the things is that we're living a change of eras, as Pope Francis said, and congregations and people, institutions are called to respond and to adapt to today's challenges and changes. With inherited, and in the case that you have, is you have inherited institutions, ways of doing, regulations that date centuries ago, some of the times. So the challenge is a bit higher than in other settings. The second thing is, today experience and knowledge are not enough. That was enough until 30 years ago. Today, that's not enough. So a lot of the critical challenges you're having today are adaptive, so it's not just about technical, that are resolved with expertise. So it's not enough about authority or expertise. They require further depth, dialogue, integration of perspectives. And this is not, well, this is part of the work you're already doing, but it's not so easy. And depth is more important than ever because everything is going so quick, everything is urgent, wants to be resolved now. You have a lot of urgencies to resolve, a lot of calls or requests from the provinces. But a lot of the things that require more depth, more time, more consideration, and more listening to the Spirit. But you're pressured to act fast in situations that demand other things. And by our experience working with many of you, there are, I would say, other three things that have more to do even with your personal experience. One is you have outstanding capacity and experience in governance, leadership, and management. The thing is, most of you entered religious life not to govern and not to manage and lead. It was for many different reasons. And your formation was also very different. Your formation was in pastoral theology, spirituality, philosophy, social work. So there is kind of also a gap that suddenly, when you're called to be superior general, there is a lack that you face. The second is interculturality, that at the congregational level, you're very international and very intercultural congregations, and at the team level also, this is very challenging. And it's kind of invisible at the beginning until it's very frustrating. So this is something also we try to support you. And the third thing is leadership, especially in your roles as superiors, as superior generals, is very lonely because you're carrying a congregation, you're leading a team, and there are some things that you only are carrying alone. So I think we think and we know having a community of peers to learn together and also having some kind of accompaniment that we offer, it's very relevant. So what do we offer? There are three main concepts that we try to integrate and that are the main frame and the transversal themes. One is discernment from the perspective of listening and responding to God's will and the call of the Spirit in every moment. So not only when we need to make a decision, but in every moment, how we act, how we lead, how we are, how we relate. The second is leadership. So integrating these two concepts, discerning leadership, about cultivating inner freedom and awareness to lead, responding to God's call in each particular circumstance. Now, the context is very relevant. Sometimes we want formulas to explain us how to do things. Well, what's the context? We listen to God. And the third one in these times is synodality. And discerning leadership in a synodal style implies leading with and for others, by listening and responding together to God's call in each situation. That it's a bit challenging for you, because it could be easier to make decisions like this. At the same time, it's a blessing for you, because there are lots of things that you alone cannot solve, and you have already experienced that. So, okay, how the theory of synodality after these years, we know it very well. The practice, no, we're learning about it, and it's about continuing or deepening the practice. So, formation, not intending just transmitting knowledge or concepts, but it's about development or our way of being, our way of doing, of relating, and of course of knowing. So it's kind of an integral development of ourselves in our roles. And of course, the spirituality is transversal. It's as part of all this. Three main dimensions of leadership that one builds on the other are interrelated, and one builds on the other. The first is the personal. We start very much in the personal because we believe, and research says, that when the main superior leader, person in responsibility, has more maturity, capacity of perspectives, inner freedom, depth of spirituality, then the qualitative capacity is very different, is much higher. So we really insist here at the beginning with you. The second is the team. So how the interrelation of the team, communication, trust, of course, listening, conflict. And the third one is the organizational dimension, the congregational one. So all three are part of the formation, all three are interrelated, and we kind of progress or develop this in the formation. There, we intend to that you can acquisition or you can gain lenses and tools. Lenses to be able to see the same reality, but from different ways, in ways that help us to tackle some of the things or see from different perspectives. So gaining lenses to see the same reality, we think is very useful because we can be more effective in certain moments. And the second is tools. Okay, how to communicate, how to open to listening, how to now use this to be more effective in that action. So this is what we intend to offer in our formation. Practically, I wanted this to come one by one, but now we have it. So in Rome, our main formation, our main offering is in Rome, in residential format, in 3 languages. Usually each language is different groups, so 3 groups of about 25 people. One in English, in Italian, and Spanish, every year. So every year we offer this offering. It's mixed groups of leaders, superiors and general counselors, mainly. So in these formations, we only accept superiors and general counselors. So it keeps at this peer level. Also Vatican officials and lay leaders from Catholic organizations at this international level. It's for both individuals or teams. Teams are great if you can do it because then all the team is experiencing it at the same time, but sometimes it's not possible. It's 2 weeks of presential formation with some work before and in between, and there are 4 coaching sessions included that really helps as accompanying. The cost, the standard fee is $1,750. We try always to work with foundations so the cost can be as low as possible and to offer scholarships if you are very interested in participating. And the last point is we also have an online formation once a year, which would be more targeted to provincial teams, also because your provincial teams are all over the world. So this is the last page, which if you scan, I hope is big enough, you can access some conflict management resources. As you just said now, that in 6 months you're going to, it would be ideal if the screen could be the same, just for the scanning, but if not, well, anyway. So the intention of this is twofold. One, you can know some of our resources. There are 5 or 6 resources related to conflict management and team building and communication. If the code doesn't work, you have the website there. And also you have a grasp of our website and our resources in case that's interesting. I'm going to ask, last thing is, can you raise your hand, just raise your hand, the ones that you have participated in our program in one way or another, so others can can go if you're interested, both in a formation and on the design leadership formation. Thank you, so others can see. Thank you very much.